Time for another episode of Murphy, Sam, and Jodi after the show. And look, we thank you for coming and hanging out with us later here. We do an episode every single day, by the way, if this is the first time you're catching the After the Show podcast.
It's a week till Thanksgiving, and we've been hearing all about these really cool traditions that you do in your family, you know, the things that and how they came about, because that's always funny. I love the accidental tradition. You know, it's like, oh, we did this last year and it was so nice. Let's try to recreate it. And that's how these things start. And so a couple of years ago, if you'll remember, Murphy, I know you do, we were at our cousin's house, which we always travel to their home for Thanksgiving, and our kids look forward to it. It's a group of cousins that only see each other at Thanksgiving and Christmas, really. Twice a year if we're lucky. Sometimes 3 times a year, summerish. And they love each other a lot. And they're my cousins that I grew up with. I'm really closer to them, I feel, than almost anybody in the family.
Yeah, well, they're
my age.
They're right.
Peer group.
First cousins?
Yes.
Okay.
So
First and only.
Anyway,
All right.
one year, 40 minutes from their house was this big Renaissance festival.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's like, you guys want to go to the Renaissance Festival? And we're like, sure. I've never been, so let's do it. And so we went. And that first time, it was like, oh, cool. You know?
It was a blast. Remember, we saw that guy that looked like Seal in a chainmail outfit?
I do remember
him? Yeah,
and that's all he had on.
I've never seen anybody dressed like that, and his wife like that, too. At first, I'm thinking, wow, is it okay for kids to see this?
Did she have chainmail on as well?
No.
I was busy looking at him.
No, she actually had less on than he did.
I don't remember
That's what was
her.
weird about it, you know, just
I
like
don't
in the
remember
days
her.
of yore, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, aren't you cold? And what about when you sit down? Ouch.
It
Doing
was.
prints
You know what?
on your booty.
It's interesting. It was too cold for chainmail that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm thinking, wow, if I had metal on that part of my
Things
body.
we haven't heard in 700 years.
Anyway, it was cool because it was our first time ever.
Yeah.
You know, the food was cool. And I was like, oh, wow, these people really went all out. At one point, we sat down and there was this, what do you call that show with the horses?
Jousting.
Jousting.
Show.
We were-
The horses with the pointy
And
things.
the kids love it. Our kids, like Taylor can, anyway, my point bringing it back up is that this has become a tradition.
Hasn't
But
Phoebe
I
dressed
am a
up for
little
this?
bit over it. That's the only thing. And I'm going to be the party pooper is that I'm a little bit over it.
Well, it's only because you've done it before. But look, I mean, the people who are fanatical about it will do it again. And yes, Sam, Phoebe, our youngest, did dress up one year for
She
it.
loves dressing up
So,
for it.
The odd thing for me is I remember the first time we were going to go to Renfest, my thought was, you know what? I've got, just for posterity's sake, got to do a turkey leg.
Yeah.
I never have, though. And you know why? It's because whenever we go, it's the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh.
You're sick of turkey.
I've already had enough turkey. Right, exactly. I'm like, wow, the timing on this is a little off for me.
What did
And
you
I'm
have
sh-
last time?
I'm sure
Shepherd's
they're great.
pie or something?
Yeah.
Taylor
Shepherd-
likes the soup in the bread bowl.
They had, the Renaissance fish and chips. Just like,
a really good,
it was
Oh,
pretty
good.
good.
It's not commercialized.
Right. Well,
really good cappuccino.
And also,
Ye old cappuccino.
yeah, well, and I had some ye old Dippin' Dots, too.
ye old, exactly. And not the ye old prices, though. Very modern
No.
prices. And it's expensive for them to do that. And there are people camped all out, too. There are people who stay there for weeks. I'm thinking, how do you do that and live your life? I don't understand, but
Got a job, people.
there's some really cool. One of my favorite things we did the first year was I got my face painted. Maybe I should do that. Like maybe I would enjoy it more if I would go all in, you know. But I just whenever Taylor and Phoebe are already asking about. We're a week away, so they're saying, "Are we going to the Renfest?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess we are." And Taylor's like, "What? What's wrong with you?" Taylor can't wait to go to the little shop with all the crystals. She likes those necklaces with
She does, yeah.
the real crystals.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
Well,
We're going apparently again.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think about what, our cousin Philip said that first time too. And I actually thought this was a game he was talking about. I wanted to look for this booth when we got there because he said, yeah, this is one big money grab. I'm thinking, oh, wow, is this a game? And he meant the vendors because everything is so expensive, you know?
Murphy's favorite part of the whole thing is that it seems so real and it looks so real.
Well, yeah,
there's a portable ATM in the middle.
Yeah, it is. But it's surrounded by a fake tree, so it kind of looks like it's
that's
part of the
nice.
landscape.
Anyway, it is cool. And I'm really not. My cousin, Candace, who's one of my favorite people on the planet, loves it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so that's a reason that-
Well, she buys the season pass or whatever it's called, and they
go
camp
whenever.
for the weekend.
I don't think she's done that recently, but
that would be cool and fun too. But yeah,
to me, not. I just can't. I don't know.
If
I'm going to go out camping, it's not going to be surrounded by hundreds of people who have also
at a Renaissance
not
festival.
bathed in a week. No.
Okay.
Anyway, I think we're going. I just want to prepare you. I think you and I need to just do our best to enjoy it. The kids love it. They like to ride the big swing, and they like they rode an elephant. Remember? They rode an elephant at Renfest one year. That's a good picture.
Elephants were in Renaissance days?
Well, yeah. Well, and I'm trying to remember last year, did they still allow that? There were some animal rights groups that were concerned about something.
I know. It was the year before that they rode the elephant.
Yeah. There was an elephant in the room.
Well, Jodi, you got your Game of Thrones outfit. Why don't you wear that? It fits in.
That was for Halloween a couple of years ago.
So they have the giant rope swing. That thing is cool.
Yeah.
They have the Castle of Maze, where you have to try to figure your way to get out.
It's just not for everybody, and I feel like I've done my time. But this is my question and reason for bringing it up.
Sounds like a bad TV show.
I would be.
It's a great festival, though. You should know that.
The biggest party pooper in the world if I said, I don't really want to go this year.
Well,
and split the group up.
We're on vacation. It's not like there's something more pressing to do. The only other thing,
Christmas shopping.
Well, but they also have that Santaland thing about 10 miles in the other direction too, which, by the way, I think they said that's like something like 200,000 lights. I mean, it's crazy.
Speaking of money grabs,
but by the time we get settled and we're in the spirit, it's our tradition. For one thing, our cousin Phil has special access. Remember?
It's true. It is true. He's got the hookup.
Well, I mean, he's connected,
in
and
the
law
medieval
enforcement.
world.
He's law enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's all you need to say.
Yeah, so there's a secret bridge across the moat that we're able to get into.
He works for the sheriff of Nottingham.
Right. So
talking about it, I'm feeling better about it because I had a really good time with Candace last year. It's hard to go to a place like that with that big of a group, actually, because there are certain kids that want to do certain things and certain kids want to do other things, and you end up splitting up and all this.
Next thing you know, somebody's in a dungeon.
Once it's dark, there's some really risque shows, some ladies shaking it.
Well, wait, that's not risque. I
saw some shaking of some stuff,
but that's belly dancing. That's not shaking of stuff.
I don't know. I didn't.
It's art, actually. Seriously, it's not.
That's where we couldn't find Murphy.
It's not the Renaissance strip show. I
didn't say that.
It's just. But I see what you're saying. But look, my mother, I remember her taking belly dancing classes when I was a kid. And so it's an art form. I hear what you're saying.
I'm saying it's an art form, but it's also
it's nothing that I'm going to go shield somebody's eyes from.
There's an adult-esque part of it, like and there's beautiful clothing and all that. I know we're going. I'm just trying to psych myself up, I guess, because Taylor and Phoebe are about it, and I don't want to be the party pooper who breaks tradition. So this is our tradition.
Well, we don't have to, And the only thing that, I quit drinking so long ago, or in 2011, I've never been able to enjoy, some of the craft beers and things they've got there, like these oversized beer steins and,
big mug of mead.
Yeah, exactly, but.
Maybe I'll try some of that.
Well, there you go. They made it pretty stout back in the day, Jodi, just so you know.
Okay.
You're not.
So you can watch the belly dancers and elephants.
Right, but if you don't like it, you can always go get a cappuccino.
And I'll do that.